Hi, it's Bonnie here, and today we're in the beautiful city of Barcelona, ready to explore on our own. And no matter how many cruises I take or how much travel I do, there's always something new to learn. And today I'm sharing my experience of getting to PARC GUELL from the cruise port on my own. So whether you're on Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas, like I am, or any other cruise ship, trust me, you'll want to hear this one. Let's get started. So we decided to visit PARC GUELL, one of Barcelona's most famous landmarks, and it was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I thought we could walk there. It seemed the metro was nearby. That was a big mistake. The walk is very long, and we ended up at the back entrance after a tough uphill hike. But let me tell you, there's a much easier way to get there. There is a metro station nearby the port, and we need to take it about 8 stops, and then we get off and we walk 14 minutes. So it's a big park. It is time stamped, so you need to make a reservation online. 10 euros or something like that will allow you a 30-minute leeway, and you can stay as long as you'd like. So we'll see how that goes. I know taking the metro is risky. You have to keep your camera equipment tucked in and your phone tucked in. Don't sit by any open door where they can run in and grab your stuff and run out. Things like that. Just using common sense. But I'm not going to be afraid to move around the city. Researching ahead, you have limited time. You want to make sure that you get moving around. And that's the benefit of a tour. But if you're on your own, you still need to keep that in mind and book ahead. Look online, get your advance reservations, get your QR codes, get things printed and ready to go. And you will just go to the front of the line and it'll be a lot easier for you. No matter how prepared you are, you can always still be missing things. I almost got to my disembarkation area for Barcelona, and guess what? I forgot all my monies and my credit card and ID. So that was kind of crazy, so do a double check in the room. I don't know what I was thinking. I just came back up and now we're off to PARC GUELL. So here we are in the Barcelona cruise terminal. So there's the hop-on, hop-off bus here, and then there's the shuttle bus over here. This is what we should have done. There is a convenient bus, which is a blue bus called Cruise Bus, that runs every 15 minutes outside the cruise terminal to the World Trade Center, which is kind of a big bus stop area. It's near the Christopher Columbus Monument. The bus ride from the cruise terminal to the World Trade Center costs 3 euros for a single ticket and 4.50 for a return ticket. And apparently you buy the ticket on the bus. And from the World Trade Center, it's a short walk to the Drassanes metro station on the Green Line. So you would basically get off at the World Trade Center, cross the street, and it's to the left. And you walk to the Drassanes, right nearby a maritime museum. And from there, you would just take the metro to Valcarca, which brings you close to the park's back entrance. And this whole journey is super budget friendly and efficient. But it's funny because I asked people about a bus and no one seemed to know any information. There was kind of a language barrier a bit, and the lines for the buses were super long, and I couldn't get the attention of anyone to ask a question. The cruise ship terminal is tucked way into the entrance of the cruise port, so it takes something to even get to the actual city park. Now this bus is a local bus because it's on the schedule of whatever cruise ship is in port, and today we have 4 ships in port, so it is apparently a bus that is around. But here's a look at the shuttle bus route from the cruise terminal to the World Trade Center, and this would have saved us over an hour of walking each way. Royal Caribbean also sells a bus ticket to Las Ramblas for, I think it's around $10. But I was thinking that that was way out of the way from where I needed to go. So I'm not really sure where exactly the Royal Caribbean bus you pay for drops off. And there's also a hop-on, hop-off bus, and those tickets you can purchase within the cruise terminal too. And that would probably take you around for sightseeing. I knew that if I could just get to the metro, I could figure out how to get there. All right, so we made a few errors on our way to PARC GUELL. First of all, the first one was we walked up too far to our metro station. That's the name of the main street. We're gonna make a left, come up the street to this maritime Hardy del Museo. Get on Avenue Rossane and you make an immediate right, you will see a metro station. Pay $2.60 a person on a single ticket and take the Valla Carca exit, as long as you walk up the steps like I instructed. All right, so what we're gonna do here, so we're right here, and we're gonna take this all the way over to this stop and walk to the park. So we're on our way to we found a map. It's supposedly this direction. So here we are, we finally figured it out. The metro. It's pretty quiet actually. We gotta buy your tickets up here. Well, one single ticket was €240. To Valcarca or Lesseps station, which are both close to PARC GUELL. It's about a 9-minute ride. It's 7 or 8 stops, and then it's at least a 15-20 minute walk uphill from the station to the back entrance of the park. It took so long to get there because I walked. Honestly, the day became more like how to get to this park more than the park itself, because it took so much time. Just when you get out of the metro, you veer left across the street, up a bunch of steps, and you just keep going up to the left and you'll find it. So you have to walk the steep hill from down there all the way up. Just know there's tons of steps to walk up before you get there. We stopped by this little shop and we bought an espresso cup. It's right outside on the steps. Here's your typical street up here. Lots going on with the stairs and then the hills you can see that way. So you have to go straight down the hill a few blocks, and then you're going to hang a left. So you're going to always want to have euros on you, because at the ticket booth here, I usually use my credit card, but it wasn't working. They would only take cash. So luckily I had €5 on me, and now we just missed the train. Yeah, there's a lot of commotion with the vendor and the credit cards, so you just never know what you're going to run into. I always try to change some money and then use my credit card. So we made it into the entrance, the back entrance, which is spelled C-O, because it's Coyo del Portal. It's Catalan. Our entrance was €7 each. Inexpensive day. Just you need to be in halfway decent shape. It's pretty warm, and it's very hilly here. Probably at least 100 steps or more, and a bunch of hills. So we're like at the top of the city, way up high. I mean, it's beautiful. And you know, getting here, so many people were turned away, and I'm here at 11:30. But I was smart enough on the ship to have a day of Wi-Fi. But I booked my tickets online, and they give you like QR codes, and there's a 30-minute window, and I just made it. Park is beautiful, and it was interesting to see, and the views from high above are really nice. Way over there is the cruise ship. Way over there. See the water? That's it. It was a fun day. And they do limit the people coming in. This has to do with all the columns. A lot of people here, but this is where you're going to recognize the seating areas. So apparently there's two entrances. We must have come in the back way, but this looks like it's a beginning of something. As you see the houses, and they're just gaudy, inspired. He created them. A word of caution, however. Unfortunately, something happened on the way back. We were resting near the World Trade Center, not knowing there was a bus, and we were sitting at a bench that was kind of positioned in the center of a big walking area. There was people that could walk behind us and people that could walk in front of us, and it was just this bench that was just kind of in the middle of cement. There was really nothing else around. As we sat there, my husband was readjusting his shoe and put his bag down on the bench, and he was on at the end, and unfortunately someone came by on an e-bike very leisurely and scooped down and picked up my husband's bag and kept going. Hey, and then he just kept leisurely going by, and it was such a professional job. Completely caught us off guard. I'd never leave things out of my sight, but my husband just let it go, not thinking. We were tired, and this could have been avoided if we had taken the bus and the metro from the start. Barcelona is kind of known for pickpockets, and they always say watch your things. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's a true tale here. So if you are planning a day trip to PARC GUELL from the cruise port, learn from my experience and take the bus and metro, or for that matter, you could probably even take a taxi. That may cost you $20. I'm not really sure, but it's quicker and easier and it's safer. The check-in, you go through security and then you're in Terminal B, and there is a little bit of duty-free shopping. So the day was pretty good, aside from the bag issue, but I guess that's kind of par for the course when you're traveling. Like, you just have to be really aware of what's happening. We were kind of tired, so I guess we kind of let our guard down a bit, but it was a good time here. I enjoyed it. The thing is, we had 5 cruise ships in at the same time, so that's probably like, what, 13,000 people? And they probably all are interested in going to the same site. So I heard like Las Ramblas was pretty busy, where we went was busy, but I booked online. So you always want to do that. If there's some big site you want to see, like Sagrada Familia or PARC GUELL, or somewhere that's even in Paris, the Eiffel Tower or something like that, you always want to make sure that you book online ahead and get a timestamp and a day, even if it doesn't work out, because at least you have something. Because today, luckily, because I had my reservation, I got in, but there were people that walked all the way up to the very top and then were turned away. So that's a tip for me to you, to go ahead and book online ahead of time. So as usual, if you found this helpful or informative, or you learned something, please make sure you give that a thumbs up button. It's been my pleasure showing you around Barcelona. In the short amount of time we've had, we've actually done a lot, and it was mainly exploring how to get to the park. The park itself, very hilly and lots of steps. I don't know, it's a lot, and then coming back to the ship. So it's been my pleasure showing you around, and consider subscribing. I have a whole playlist on the Explorer of the Seas and everywhere I went on this transatlantic cruise. Next stop is Toulon, France, and we'll be doing something out of there. So thanks again for watching. Until next time. We're leaving Barcelona, off to bigger and better adventures.